1717 is a bridge right beside Seoul Station, and is where I had my very first official job in Korea.
That is like very cool.
Yeah, I know. I got to meet a lot of celebrities too. I met the cast of 2박 2일, like 2 nights, 1 day, 2 nights, 2 nights, 1 day.
2 nights, 1 day.
And I got to talk to AOA and Girls' Day members. So I was like, the whole time I was like, can I talk? Can I talk? Oh my God, what do I say? Well, on the bridge, a lot of fans came to build like their trees. So it was something more like a fan-based community kind of thing. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but it's a nature center or nature facility created by the Seoul government. And the very first thing, EXO fans came to build a tree named for Chen.
Like a real, like planted
a tree. So, which is being actually maintained by the Seoul government.
Oh.
BTS doesn't have their tree, but BTS have been on the bridge. And it was one of the things they promoted in their Seoul video in 2017, I think, yeah.
In Seoul, what is kind of like something that you want people to pay attention to when they go there? What's the nicest thing for you to see?
Oh, I don't know about other people.
But just for you, what is like...
For me, it was actually seeing Seoul Station.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You mean like the old station or the new one? Or both together?
The new one.
Oh.
Because maybe this is more like a personal thing with me. Maybe it's because I travel a lot. I travel a lot around Korea. And when I first came to Korea, my very first day in Korea, it was, my itinerary was airport, Namsan Tower, and straight Seoul Station.
Right.
Because my school was in Busan.
Oh, so you had to go...
I had to go to Busan straight. And it blew my mind, the fact that I could go from one state to the very end.
In like 2-3 hours?
In 2-3 hours. In the US, you cannot go anywhere in 2-3 hours. You're in the same place. Seoul Station just brings out a lot of emotions in me. It reminds me of my first day in Korea. And also, like, my first job was right there looking at Seoul Station every time. So I was just like, it just brings out a lot of emotions. Till today. Every time I arrive from wherever I travel to and I turn back, especially at night, and I turn back and just look at Seoul Station, I'm like amazed. On the bridge, I could always see Namsan Tower all the time. And I saw like Namdaemun.
The gate
right there. And looking at Namdaemun just made me want to explore more. You know, you're looking at Namdaemun and you're like, oh, what else is there? Working in Seoul, I was an information guide.
So you had to know all this.
I had to know these things. And then when you learn more about the history of the neighborhood, like you never think, when you think Seoul, you just think Seoul as a whole, but you never think that each neighborhood has...
And have so much history.
First, I had to convince my parents that I was coming here.
Was that hard?
That was harder than I expected. My mom was, even though she was also still chill about it, she asked a lot of questions that I wasn't
about
ready to,
Korea specifically
that I wasn't ready to answer. Like, you know those kind of questions that you cannot just answer, oh, because I love K-pop. Like, why Korea? What is in Korea? Do you know how to speak the language? Do you know? I'm like, K-pop? K-drama? To convince my family, I actually did a little bit of research to make my presentation.
Did you actually have a presentation?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
And she was convinced.
Oh,
good. So when I got here, everything just seemed new to me. And I felt like I already knew Korean.
But you didn't.
I didn't. Like, I didn't know Korean as much as I thought I did. And I didn't know I had to install like Naver Maps, which is what like we all use now. And then I went to Busan, as I said. So in Busan, they have a dialect, right? So even though I was even learning Korean in Busan, I was learning the standard Korean.
Oh, because you were going to like Korean classes.
Yeah, exactly.
But that didn't translate to...
I'd go outside I'm here. I'm supposed to say 안녕하세요, right? Hello, 안녕하세요, and they're like, "Hey, wanna?" I'm like, okay. What does wanna mean?
Just as like a final advice, what would you say to people who are into K-pop when they visit Korea?
Oh. I got two things to say. First thing, to people who are coming as tourists, oh my god, come live your best life when you get here. And for people who are coming long term, make time.
Make time?
To live your best life here. It's gonna be hard, but you can do it.
It's just basically the same advice.
Same advice.
Live your best life.
But make time.
Yes. Well, Titi, thank you so much, and hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell, and we hope to see you again next time with more Connect videos. Bye!